Did you then never take him seriously? Like when
I've
he
never
first
taken him
launched
seriously.
last summer?
Absolutely not. I mean, listen, the one thing that he's done that Latinos have not been able to do is get us to unite against him. And there are some Latinos that are for Trump. There's Venezuelan and Colombian people who don't like Mexicans. It's, you know, the Mexican is 52% of the vote coming up in this election. So you have to be careful with us because everything that people touch, we touch first, and we could destroy the food chain with just one call.
But this is incredibly.
You mean to tell me that George Lopez is trying to make a statement that Mexican Americans are 50% of the vote? He's insinuating that half of the population of the United States is Mexican. This is the intelligence of these fucking people. Then George Lopez describes how with one phone call, he can fuck our food up with one phone call because they touch it before we do. Really? He just threatened us with a terroristic threat to do harm or anything to our food with intentions to do harm to us. What are you going to do? Put a boogie in it? What are you going to do? Inject some poison in that watermelon?
Serious though, as far as the fact that, you know, a massive group in this country has coalesced behind this one particular presumptive nominee.
Presumptive.
Presumptive. And so, you know, I imagine with you and other Hispanics that when he launched and said what he did about Mexicans being rapists, that infuriated you. But is there anything more? I mean, if you can, I mean, take him seriously. We are taking him seriously. This is somebody who could be elected as president. What other beef do you have with him?
Well, you know, I believe that to make America great, you need all people here. I don't believe that targeting Mexicans as criminals and rapists is the answer. I don't believe that building a wall is an answer. I believe to reform immigration laws, which continue to get passed to administration. That's why we've come to, hey, let's build a wall. You can. There's tunnels underneath. I took one over here. I ended up in New Jersey, got out, took an Uber here.
But I'm bummed.
So yeah, but I'm bummed. But you know what? The wall is very prehistoric. You know, we fly and we take cars. But a lot of us are here legally and we're citizens. I'm a citizen. My citizenship is just as good as his. I may not look like him, but that guy can't tell me to go back to where I came from because I'm from here.
Let me interrupt this here.
So, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be talking about illegal immigration, Chris. You wouldn't even be talking about it. This was not a subject that was on anybody's mind until I brought it up at my announcement, and I said Mexico is sending. Except the reporters, because they're a very dishonest lot, generally speaking, in the world of politics, they didn't cover my statement the way I said it. The fact is, since then, many killings, murders, crime, drugs pouring across the border, our money going out and the drugs coming in. And I said, we need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly. And I don't mind having a big, beautiful door in that wall so that people can come into this country legally. But we need, Jeb, to build a wall. We need to keep illegals out. We need to keep illegals out. We need to keep illegals out.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yes, the immigration is a huge problem.
But the frustration, George.
But the frustration is that this administration did not do much in that regard. So it carries over to the next one.
It's not just immigration.
Did he just say what I think he said? What?
Yes, the immigration is a huge problem.
But the frustration, George.
But the frustration is that this administration did not do much in that regard. So it carries over to the next one.
It's not just immigration.
I'm sorry. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm not understanding. Maybe it's because I'm not Spanish. I don't know. I'm confused.
country?
Yes, the immigration is a huge problem.
But the
It
frustration,
is.
George.
But the frustration is that this administration did not do much in that regard. So it carries
but
over
it's not
to the
just
next
immigration.
one.
It can't be.
No,
just
it's not. It's the economy as well. It's the economy. It's immigration. It's safety. It's jobs, healthcare. It's all of the things that. Listen, you didn't have unity across the aisles, and I think that fracture between the president and the House caused a lot of these problems that are going on right now.
I'm sorry. I'm this far into it. I'm done. Let's move on to something that was never answered. Donald Trump had proof, evidence that Mexican government was pushing people over the border into the United States. This is true. Watch
Mr.
this.
Trump, it has not escaped anybody's notice that you say that the Mexican government is sending criminals, rapists, drug dealers across the border. Governor Bush has called those remarks, quote, extraordinarily ugly. I'd like you're right next to him, talk to him directly and say how you respond to that. And you have repeatedly said that you have evidence that the Mexican government is doing this, but that you have evidence you have refused or declined to share.
Well, new tonight, 10 News uncovered this new video of an angry mob armed with rocks confronting the Border Patrol near San Ysidro. Agents tell 10 News this is the first time this has ever happened. And as 10 News reporter Dan Haggerty shows us, they're concerned it may have been just a dry run for a future ambush. Dan.
Yeah, Steve, it happened close to where we are now, just south of the Las Americas Mall. You see the border agents back there by the wall right now, and they admitted that if this was organized, the group could organize again. This is how close it was to an all-out assault. Hundreds of Mexicans storming the border wall last Sunday and recording the whole thing. The first organized attack agents have seen here.
They were combative, throwing rocks and bottles and flashing gang signs and threatening agents.
Assistant Chief Patrol Pete Vasquez told me the rioters clearly documented this for a reason. Agents just aren't sure exactly why.
We would think if they were going to use it for propaganda, somebody would have stepped forward to maybe lay claim to the video, which no one has done yet.
Hey, so agents have been using the footage posted to a Mexican blog site to their advantage, checking out every clip and everyone involved. A man holding a child, a woman with one leg straggling behind, others who look like they definitely showed up ready for a fight. A mix of people agents say implies someone brought them together.
We can kind of see there's one gentleman that at the beginning of the video seems well-dressed, kind of leading the event.
An event that forced agents to use pepper spray, put up helicopters, and prepare for worse than rocks and bottles. So what's the point? What are they doing? Who are these guys?
We're not sure at this time. We're still analyzing the video and trying to gather any information that we can.
And agents told me that most of the other organized events that happen on other parts of the border always have a clear message. This one did not. Reporting live tonight, Dan Haggerty, 10 News.
All right, Dan, and we want to give our viewers a really good idea of where this location is right here. This is the Tijuana River Channel right here. This is where the altercation happened. It's about a quarter mile just west of the San Ysidro port of entry. There is no border fence in that location to prevent people from
crossing. And back in this
into
country
the
now,
US.
into a flashpoint here, people trying to cross the border from Mexico into the U.S. illegally. And tonight, an eye-opening new piece of video, a brazen attempt to jump the wall. Two young men carrying backpacks, climbing over the wall into Arizona, suddenly spotting the cameras documenting the whole thing. ABC's Gio Benitez with what happened next.
You're looking at video recorded from the U.S.-Mexico border by Spanish-language journalists. Watch as two men jump over the 20-foot wall from Mexico into the United States. You can see those giant backpacks. One of the young men gets on the phone. They check out their surroundings, completely unaware they're being recorded. The journalists recording this say U.S. Customs and Border agents were nearby when it happened. But watch as the pair crosses a street and then The two men spot the camera, gesture at the reporter to stop filming. They seem to scramble and then make the decision to run back, climbing the fence in just 12 seconds and jumping back into Mexico without ever being caught. ABC News has reached out to Customs and Border Protection, and they tell us they confirmed that their remote video camera operators observed two men entering the United States illegally. Officials also tell us they were unable to make an apprehension. GOP.
One for each other and all for one. The three brave amigos are we. Brother to brother and everyone, a brave amigo. One for each other and all for one. The three brave amigos are we. Brother to brother and everyone, a brave amigo. One for each other and all for one. The three brave amigos are we. Brother to brother and everyone, a brave amigo. Each other and all for one. The three brave amigos are we. Brother to brother and everyone, a brave amigo. One for each other and all for one. The three brave amigos are we. Brother to brother and everyone, a brave amigo. One for each other and all for one. The three brave amigos.